The jump off of the wheel is upwards and a little bit forwards. The pike straddle position is attained at the highest point of the flight phase. At this point, the hips should be at the height of the shoulders in standing position on the wheel. In the downward part of the flight phase, the body is straightened again and the landing is performed with feet a little bit apart and bending the knees. A pike straddle jump is performed by bringing the legs up to the horizontal and keeping the upper body vertical. The hip angle is at most 90 degrees. At the same time, the legs are spread to at least a 90-degree angle. Legs are straight with the feet extended. The arms point to the feet. The gymnast can choose to use an additional arm swing in the jump off to gain height. As this makes for a better performance, we will teach it in the pre-exercises. To perform a pike straddle jump, the gymnast must be able to perform a pike mount on the wheel and attain the standing position. As the gymnast needs to forcefully jump off the wheel and land safely, she will have to practice the straight jump off first. To gain sufficient height, the gymnast needs a powerful thrust from the wheel. The thrust can be supported by an arm swing upwards. The arm swing ends when the arms are just before the ears, so the gymnast keeps the back straight. Train this during warm-up by having the gymnast bouncing on the floor, making small jumps, and making every third bounce a high jump. The arms are swung upwards with the high jump in order to achieve more height. To make sure the gymnast has her back straight during the jump, the lower back muscles need to be stretched. Make sure that the gymnast keeps her back straight in the 90-degree angle by directing her to look forwards while moving the arms. To practice the leg movement, have the gymnast hang on a wall ladder, performing the leg swing in pike straddle position. The jump can also be practiced on a mat. The coach supports the jump in the back of the gymnast with hands on the lower rib cage. The gymnast jumps up and performs the pike straddle. As a coach, you check if the gymnast swings up her legs instead of bending the upper body forwards. Using a mini trampoline to perform the pike straddle jump gives the gymnast an easy way to gain enough height. She only needs to concentrate on bringing the legs up and arms down. As a coach, you secure the situation by stepping up the mat right after the gymnast has cleared the trampoline. Thus, you can prevent her from falling backwards or landing on the trampoline. Now the gymnast performs the jump from the vaulting box. She has her arms spread in front and brings her feet towards her hands. As a coach, you stand close by the vaulting box, so if the gymnast loses balance in the landing, you can prevent her from falling backwards. Pay attention to the upper body positions. The upper body should stay vertical during the whole jump. To simulate the thrust from the wheel, parallel bars can be used. The tillers are angled a little bit downward. The gymnast jumps from the low end. When landing on the mat, the legs should be slightly apart with the feet underneath the shoulders. The knees are bent to absorb the shock of the landing. We first practice jumping off the wheel from a high platform. This way, the gymnast can get a good position on the wheel and get a feeling for the timing of the jump off. The jump off needs to be performed the moment shortly after the feet of the gymnast have passed the highest point on the wheel. The gymnast needs to push downward on the wheel without jumping too much forward. As a coach, you will recognize a wrong thrust at the movement of the wheel. If the wheel rolls backwards, the gymnast jumps too early and too much forwards. If the wheel rolls forward without slowing, the gymnast is late with her jump. When the gymnast gets secure with the jump off, she can perform the jump with a pike mount on the wheel. To safeguard the jump, one coach stands on a vaulting box and a second at the mat. If the gymnast is feeling secure on top of the wheel, only the coach on the mat is needed. After sufficient practice, the gymnast can perform the jump by herself.